Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel on what is a quite cold and blustery late October day. As you can see, we're still holding on to a bit of fall color. It was gorgeous here a couple hours ago, lovely and sunny, but the clouds have rolled in and we've had a few showers of rain with more to come. So if you've followed my channel, you'll know that my videos tend to follow a sort of set theme. You know, I roll up to a really nice location and I explain my settings, take some photos, and then share them at the end. So this video is going to be a little bit different. I'd like to share 3 compositional tips that the sort of mistakes that I've seen beginners make over the last few months, and I think there might be value in sharing these 3 things with you. It doesn't require any technical knowledge of a camera. These are basically in the field, conscious things that you can do to help with your composition. So I don't know how long the weather's going to last, so we'll get right on with it. So tip number 1, it kind of goes something like this. Just give me 1 sec. All right, so you roll up to a location, you think, oh, this looks great. You take out your tripod, put your tripod down where you think it will make a nice photo. You put your camera on top, done. Your tripod will never move again for the rest of the shoot. And that's mistake number 1. So what I suggest is don't take out the tripod. As soon as you do that, the tripod grows roots and it will never move. And you're kind of stuck with that composition. Don't take out the tripod. Walk around, look at the scene. Are there things you hadn't considered when you first walked up? If you have a subject, can you walk all the way around it and look at it from different angles? Perhaps there's a better arrangement of trees in this case that might work, that literally by moving 3 or 4 feet either side of where you would have placed the tripod. These are just things that will get you to think about your composition, because I guarantee once that tripod is out, it tends to not move very much. So tip number 1, don't make your tripod grow roots. So once you have your composition set up, tip number 2 is what I call edge patrol. And that is to look through the viewfinder, or even better, the screen on the back of the camera, and go around the frame and check for distractions. And it's much easier to remove the distractions now by either moving your camera left or right, or tripod left or right, an inch or 2, or perhaps zooming in a little bit. It's much easier doing it now. It's much quicker than it is in post-processing. I know that you can do this in Lightroom and Photoshop fairly easily, but if you have a big distraction, it can be a little tricky sometimes. It's much easier to do that here, or at least be aware of it here. So tip number 2 is edge patrol, and I'll show you what I mean on the back of the camera. So here's an example of what I mean by edge patrol. I will look very closely around the edge of the frame to see, are there any distractions that can be removed from the scene, either by me just zooming in a little bit more, perhaps zooming in, or maybe slightly moving my camera an inch or 2 to the left or to the right. And in this case, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of not very clear. Let me sort of zoom in here. I set this one up deliberately. There's a little stick sticking out of there on the right hand side of the frame. I'm zoomed right in. Yeah, I know it can be quite easily removed in Lightroom or Photoshop, but if I literally just go in a few millimeters and frame it up slightly differently, that distraction is gone. And there it is over there on the right hand side. It's right there. So I could perhaps not compromise the scene and just literally zoom in just a few millimeters. So That's what I mean by edge patrol. And my third tip is weight. I've done this many times before myself, where you've got everything set up, you take the photo, you pack up your gear, and you leave. And just when you've left, the light gets good or something happens. And I found myself moving from location to location and not having any good shots. Whereas if I just stayed in one location, I would have been less stressed out, and I might have ended up with better images, because I've allowed the scene to develop and I've allowed the light to develop. And I know sometimes if you haven't got very long, you might only have an hour outside, it's hard to stay in one place, but I can guarantee that you'll be a lot less stressed out if you tend to focus on one scene rather than trying to hit 4 or 5 in a short period of time. And I think your photography and your compositions will be better too. Those are my 3 tips. A little bit different of a video today. The rain's starting to come on, I'm getting really cold. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like what you see, think about subscribing. Give the video a like if you like it. Every little bit helps the channel quite a bit. And until the next video, I will see you soon. Bye for now.